Now, here in Germany, protesters have taken to the streets to oppose the country's popular far-right party. The demonstrations took place across the country on Saturday as the Alternative for Germany party kicked off its election campaign.
Tens of thousands turned out in Berlin to rally against the growing popularity of far-right politics in Germany. Organizers described the protest at the iconic Brandenburg Gate as a sea of lights directed at the Alternative for Germany party. Many here feel a win by the far-right party would signal a return to the darkest chapter in German history. They want darkness, we will turn on the lights here and everywhere around the world, an organizer says over a megaphone as demonstrators in the capital hold up letters reading hope and resistance.
I find it all very frightening what's going on right now, and this election campaign which has moved very far to the right. I'm standing up for democracy, for openness and diversity. I think that's what makes Germany what it is. That's why it is important to stand up and be here.
On the streets of Cologne in West Germany, the rally had a much more festive feeling, but just like in Berlin, it was fear that drove tens of thousands to march. Fear that extremist politics may once again be gaining ground in Germany.
I'm here to protest against the AfD and for democracy.
I think it is important to send a signal because of the early German elections. We see a party, the AfD, that's sitting at 20% in the polls and might get even more. This party openly shows a racist, discriminatory and intolerant attitude, and I think it is important to send a signal for tolerant and active democracy.
In the city of Halle, in the state of Saxony-Anhalt, a few hundred protesters demonstrated outside an exhibition hall, while inside, the leader of the AfD, Alice Weidel, officially kicked off the party's election campaign, which included a live video address from U.S. tech billionaire Elon Musk, who once again called the AfD the best hope for Germany's future.
Let's have a closer look at this with DW's political correspondent, Matthew Moore. Hello, Matthew. Matthew, why is Elon Musk backing the German far-right?
Look, on the face of it, it makes sense, right? Here's someone who basically claims that he's a disruptor, likes to wreck the system and build it afresh. And then you've got the Alternative for Germany, who are basically offering German voters the same thing. They're saying that everything that we've had for the last 20-odd years hasn't worked, and we're offering something different, an alternative. It's not that surprising as well, because on a few big issues, they are aligned, right? You've got free speech. They both think that there's been too many curbs on free speech when it comes to things like small state. Basically, both sides agree that the state should be smaller, that taxes should be lower, that there should be less regulation. And then on the big issue of immigration, which is where they're aligned, they're basically saying that they think that mass immigration, as they would phrase it, is a threat to Western civilization. And so, but not everyone in the AfD is actually for it, right? A lot of the people who I've spoken to within the party, they think that the attention of Elon Musk is not something that will necessarily benefit them.
Right. So how has the popularity of the AfD changed the political landscape in Germany?
We'll take one big example, right? The party of Angela Merkel, the centre-right Christian Democrat party, Angela Merkel's party. She, in 2015, said that Germany was going to be a place where almost 1 million people could come and seek sanctuary, asylum. Now her party is basically pledging to crack down on that asylum and saying that they're going to close Germany's borders to irregular migration. That would essentially mean that it is no longer possible for somebody to arrive at a German border and claim asylum from an EU neighbour. That's a huge, huge deal. It essentially means permanent border controls along Germany's 3,800 kilometres of border. They're also saying that the 200,000 or so people who are awaiting to be deported, who did not get an asylum, a right to asylum here in Germany, that they would be detained. That was a huge infrastructure. They're talking about using old barracks and so on. So a massive change there. And that's really because of this threat from the AfD on the far right of the German system. And it's worth saying that the opposition say that these plans that the new Christian Democrats are coming forward with, they are legally questionable and also impractical.
Quick one on this. What are the chances of the AfD coming into power? OK,
so the facts are that you're likely to have a coalition government in the next parliament, and that means that it's unlikely that the AfD will come into power because all the other parties in Germany have said that the AfD is too extreme. They cannot work with them. They've called it a Brandmauer. But the question is, as long as the party, the AfD, continues to grow in support, can that firewall, that Brandmauer, as they call it in Germany, can that continue to hold up?
Right. Time will tell. DW's political correspondent Matthew Moore. Thank you very much.